refer to your book a little bit. So the PivotPower book. So just
Yes.
a little bit about that. Are these tools that people can use to consider pivots themselves? Are they examples of pivots that other people have done for inspiration? Just tell us a little bit about that.
All right. Just very quickly, the book I actually did as a demonstration of how we need to be thinking and acting in this sort of crisis situation times. It was like, all right, everybody needs to be pivoting now. Yeah. So in a way, it was me doing a pivot by myself as well, because, you know, instead of all my face-to-face workshops, okay, I've got more time on the ground now. I'm doing some Zoom workshops, etc. But I just wanted to sort of do my own little pivot. And I set myself a 1-week challenge from inception of the book. Hey, you know, maybe people need a book on pivoting, to actually being on sale was 1 week. So, yeah,
well
thank you, sir. Now, the thing is this: it embodies so many lessons of what I call, I guess, the lean methodology, right? If it's a complete failure, it just costs me a week of my time, right? If it's a success, it is perhaps the best week I've ever spent in my life in that sense. What I'm hoping to do is get, you know, the tool set, the mindset, the tool set, and the skill set. Let's talk about those 3 things: mindset, tool set, skill set, into people's hands as quickly as possible. Because I think around the world right now, this is what people need, because they're in this quandary. It's like going along this way, suddenly, boom, there's a roadblock. There's a tree across the road. Help, where do I go now? So to answer your question, I identify 20 different types of pivot. And I think that alone is probably eye-opening for people to go, wow, really? There's 20 different types of pivot? What are they? And so you go through those. I've put examples next to each one. So each of those 20 types of pivot might have 3, 5, 7 examples of big companies, small companies, having put that into practice successfully. And that's the key to it, successfully, right? And one of the things about this that it highlights is when you look at some of the biggest brand names in the world, you know, whether it's IBM, whether it's Airbnb, whether it's Amazon, just about every single one of them. In fact, I can hardly think of a company that is what it started out as. Mm-hmm. Something has changed in all of those companies along the way. Either their customers have changed, their technology's changed, their market's changed, their methodology's changed, something's changed. They've all pivoted, yeah? Now, the book ends, having outlined all of that, with the toolbox, which is, okay, right now, you're probably sitting around your kitchen table thinking, shit, how am I going to pay the rent? Here's some immediate things that you can do. Here's how you can start to match up what does the market need now. So, you know, it's really written in terms of a crisis condition, because that's kind of where people are in as we're speaking currently. But it's applicable anytime. And I mean, I make the point, and I hope I make the point well, pivoting is an ongoing process. It's not a one-off thing. Yeah. You know, if you look at PayPal as we know it today is literally Plan J. Plan A fell over, B, C, D, E. PayPal, as we know that business model today, is Plan J. Yeah. Now, soon we're going to have Plan K for PayPal, because eBay have just taken them off the exclusive preferred payment partner roster. So what's in store for PayPal next? Yeah. But yeah, there is a toolbox, and I think there are 5 or 6 tools there where people can actually just sit down there and do their own little brainstorms in terms of how do I move my company forward from here? So it's really a how-to, and yeah, fairly foolproof, because I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't use the word dumbing down, but I like to bring the science and the tools to the people so that
it's
people
usable, right?
It's usable, it's relevant, it's usable, it's practical. Yeah. Because, you know, to me, there's no point being a sort of highfalutin academic if your stuff is A, too boring to read, and B, even if you do read it, you can't really understand it. And then you can't see how it's relevant to you, either as the entrepreneur, a solopreneur, an intrapreneur, or even a CEO of a massive corporation. So I think it's a really, down-to-earth, practical, hard-hitting toolbox, which will hopefully get a lot of people onto a new path to riches. Yeah.
Brilliant.